Good morning. I'm going to talk to you about the history and the evolution of Wesabe and why consumers and financial institutions should be excited about the direction that we're heading. I'm also going to make a couple of big announcements. Now, we launched Wesabe 2.5 years ago, and we started sort of a mini revolution in personal finance because at the time, there were only desktop products in the marketplace. We had tried those. Very powerful applications in many ways, but for the amount of effort it took to get the information out of them, it just wasn't consumer friendly. It was the sort of thing we looked at and said, we can do better than that. And being web guys and seeing the power of the web in communities, in data, we knew that we could do better. And so we launched Wesabe in November of 2006. A whole bunch of startups that many of them here today came along after us. Very flattering that many of them said Wesabe inspired them to get into the marketplace. We've continued to evolve as well. Recently, we launched a Twitter transaction where you can actually Twitter accounts into your Wesabe, Twitter transactions into your Wesabe account. Great if you're on a cab ride, you're worried about losing the receipt, Twitter that information into Wesabe, you don't have to worry about it. Another tool that we recently launched we call Cutback. This is great in these times when consumers are looking for ways to actually reduce their spending, and they want tools that are going to help them. The more you can help a consumer not have to think about it and make a good decision, the more they're going to be happy with the service that you're providing them. So what Cutback does is it goes through their list of repeating transactions, things that they spend on a monthly basis, and it shows them that if they cut back on, say, a gym membership or Netflix or something like that, they could reduce their spending by hundreds or thousands of dollars over a year. This has been a very popular innovation at Wesabe. Now, what I'm going to show you is our new user interface. Our user interface has been updated because when we looked at what we wanted to do this year, we decided that we wanted to update the look and the feel so that we could give consumers and our members an easy way to get a snapshot of their data. Ease of use is what it's all about. You can throw a lot of information at people on the screen, but when it comes to personal finances, people want to have a look, and then oftentimes they want to go do something else. If you can provide them that snapshot so they feel in control of their personal finances, they're going to be much more loyal to your bank or your credit union because they're going to spend time there, understand it, and move on when they're ready to move on, or they're going to dig in deeper. And that's one of the things that Wesabe also provides is that layer of functionality that consumers or members can actually add in, dig into. So for example, if I wanted to track clothing, and I'm worried I'm spending too much because I'm hitting all the fashion spots, then I can put that in. And in just a few seconds, now I'm tracking my clothing expenses. I can also see my information in a variety of different formats, whether I want to look at it in line graphs or I want to look at it in different time frames. And this dashboard shows me my accounts, and it shows me the discussions I'm a part of in the Wesabe community. Now, if I want to dig deeper into my transactions, we also add layers of functionality where if you want to just look at a particular credit card, you can do that. If you want to add another credit card to the list of transactions, you can add that in so you can group together, say, the two family credit cards. Or if you want to now layer in another level of analysis so you can look at your two credit cards by an expense category, then you can add that in, and now we can see for these two family credit cards what the clothing expenses have been. So this is yet another way that we give the snapshot view, give consumers an easy way to understand their finances, and then allow them to dig in deeper if that's what they're looking for. Now, one of the announcements that I'm going to make today is that we just launched our new iPhone application. Now, we're very excited about this because it provides a variety of new ways for people to manage their money on the go. It's very easy for people to edit and add their transactional information in. It's also easy for people to actually sign up for Wesabe on the iPhone application itself. So if they download it from the iPhone store and they decide they want to sign up when they're on the go, they can sign up. They don't have to go back to their desktop. In terms of adding and editing transactions, we take advantage of the geolocation features of Yahoo Local so that if you're in Starbucks and you spend $3.50 on a latte or whatever the going rate is on lattes, you can actually use that feature. It'll recognize where you are and populate the transaction field. The other thing that we added into is that it's passcode protected. So you don't have to lock your whole phone. If you go away from your phone, the Wesabe application will be locked. So the last thing I'm going to talk about, and the second announcement, is that we have now started selling Wesabe Springboard, which is our white label version of Wesabe, all the great applications and functionality that you see here, to financial institutions. Now, some of you may know that. We announced it about 6 weeks ago, and we've had a great response. Now, there's many of our competitors that look at financial institutions and don't say such nice things about them. They say, they don't know personal financial management. They don't know how to do it. It doesn't belong there. We happen to believe the opposite. We think financial institutions, banks, and credit unions really want to help their members. And if they just have the right tools to do that, they're going to engage deeper, and especially in these times, they're going to be able to help their members, their customers, improve in their personal finances, which is going to help their customers and members or encourage them to become more loyal. Also, they're going to be able to appeal to a younger generation of web-savvy consumers that are looking for just these sorts of tools and that recognize that these are out there, and it's the first place they go look. So the announcement I'm going to make is that in a scant 6 weeks, we've already signed our first financial institution customer. So I'm very happy to announce that we signed Delta Community Credit Union, Georgia's largest credit union, great technology partner, an institution that really is forward-thinking and innovative, and we'll be rolling out all the Wesabe applications with them in the coming weeks and months, and we couldn't be happier to have them as our first customer. So if you want to hear more about it and how we can help your financial institution, please come by the table. We can dig into more of the functionality here and answer all your questions. Thanks a lot.